On June 26, 2015, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of allowing same-sex marriages nationwide. Now, this ruling caused several individuals, black and white, Christians and non-Christians, to wrestle with this concept and this idea concerning equality. Many individuals may have found themselves debating, what exactly is fair and what is not fair. Many individuals may have found themselves debating what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Now, as I'm sure you all can tell, I obviously am not President Obama. And my group members, Matthew, Kaylin, and Chad, who will introduce themselves a bit later, are not members of Congress. And so we alone do not possess the ability to affect change on a national level. However, with your assistance, what we can do is affect change locally, beginning at the University of Central Arkansas. Now, how can we do this, you may ask? Well, it's really quite simple. By installing baby changing stations in both the male and female restrooms. Now, mind you, the University of Central Arkansas says, and I quote them in saying that they value, support, and advance diversity. In fact, one of their goals is to cultivate campus communities that not only are open, welcoming, and respectful, but also highlight and promote that continuous increase of cultural awareness and understanding. And so, speaking as current students and future alumni of the University of Central Arkansas, nothing shows more cultural awareness and understanding than the installations of these baby changing stations. And now, please understand that throughout this presentation, you will come to see three things. One, that there is indeed a need for these baby changing stations at this university. And number two, you will see that the installation of these stations will prove not to be problematic culturally nor financially. And lastly, you will see that the University of Central Arkansas is better with our idea of baby changing stations than they are without it. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Matthew Spencer, and I will be discussing the need that this campus has for baby changing tables. Right now, there are no regulations that state changing stations must be provided on a university campus. But as most of us know, family dynamics have been changing in our country rapidly. Traditional roles with women as the primary caregiver are changing. Men are becoming more active as fathers. More often than not, fathers aren't provided with baby changing stations in their restroom. This causes fathers to resort to unsafe changing practices. Personally, I have even seen some fathers change their child on the bathroom floor. They had no room on the sink and no table to change their child on. As a university that is on the forefront of thinking, we must learn to accommodate people when they are in difficult situations. This is one of the situations in which we are able to play a key role in the safety of the child and others in the bathroom. It is not only men who are affected by the lack of changing stations, but women also do not have a sufficient amount of stations on campus. There are plenty of men and women who attend the University of Central Arkansas that need an adequate place to change their child. Keep in mind that students aren't the only ones who visit the campus. There are teachers, faculty, and even alumni. We must think about all people who will visit the University of Central Arkansas. Changing children's diapers in unsanitary conditions can lead to health problems. Without the proper changing tables, every person who uses the restroom is subject to getting diseases such as rotavirus, E. coli, and hepatitis A. Not only are the occupants of the restroom put in a dangerous situation, the child is left either balancing between sinks or lying on the floor. Both are terrible situations. The need is there. Now it is only time to act.
My name is Kaylin Chanel, and I'm with Group 4 talking about the satisfaction step in our quest to propose that they install baby changing stations in both the male and the female restrooms throughout the University of Central Arkansas. Did you actually know that throughout the 20 million students that apply for the thousands of two-year colleges and four-year universities, that only 1/3 of them are actual traditional students? So let me tell you what a traditional and a non-traditional student is. A traditional student is a student that just freshly came out of high school between the ages of 17 and 19 that has no ties at all. And a non-traditional student is a student that does not directly go into college after high school, a person who enters the job market after high school and then decides to go to college, a person that goes to community college first, not community college first, a person who decides to make a family first and then go to college, people who have families first, people who are single parents, people who are older, which means in their 30s, 40s, 60s, that range, older than their early 20s. Those are non-traditional students, and those are the students that we want to include. In addition to our staff members, because a lot of our staff members have families, and we want to include those families. We want to include those children and give them the provisions they need. One of the reasons that we are pushing this is because the non-traditional students pay just as much money as the traditional students. So why do we give so many provisions to the traditional students and not that many provisions to the non-traditional students? We should include both just as much because they are just as important in addition to our important staff members. They are the backbone of our school, so why not include one little thing that can make their life easier, actually? And it's a beneficial investment. This would satisfy a lot of our student body in addition to our staff, and it would only benefit our staff. In addition, we want to include the people who are visiting our school. Many people, whether they be traditional or non-traditional or staff members who are applying to a position to the school, see the school as its appearance. So if they come in and they have their families and they have their little babies and they go into the restroom and they cannot change them because they do not have changing station, it makes them think that we do not include and welcome families or single parents or people, non-traditional students, and that's not what we want. We want our school to be as welcoming and beneficial as we can. We want to include as many people as we can.
Go. Hi, I'm Chad. I'm here to tell you about changing stations, their positive impact on UCA, the community, and most importantly, the students.
And go.
This is the simple solution to UCA's simple problem. Changing stations. Changing stations are non-intrusive, easy to use, and effective. Not only do they provide an often overlooked minority with an invaluable service, they show that UCA is a forward-thinking university that cares about all of its attendees, even the ones with the smallest of voices. Changing stations can come in handy not only to students, but staff and faculty as well. No more diaper changing during office hours. Instead of promoting unhealthy and unsanitary practices, such as changing a diaper in that small space between the sinks, changing stations provide a way to reduce the germs and airborne pathogens that are both harmful to those that are doing the changing and those being changed. Changing stations also come in a variety of sizes and looks. This just goes to show that there is a changing station that is just right for UCA. I was thinking something in purple. Varying size means that the size of the bathroom is no issue. As you can see, right above the toilet. There are stations that can fit anywhere. I'm not just saying that we litter the campus with these changing stations, one for each corner. I was more thinking that we take them to the essential areas, such as the student center, a social hub that already promotes commerce. So why not extend a hand and further that and include more people? The possibilities are endless, but only after we take this first step. And that's why we need you. UCA is poised to become one of Arkansas's most progressive and forward-thinking universities, and this is the first step on that journey. Let's ride the waves of recent legislation and promote a UCA that is not only accepting, but also accommodating. UCA will become a beacon for the minority and a boon for Arkansas. But once again, this is not possible without you and your support. We can do it. We will become the university that we want to be. And it all starts with these changing stations. They provide a service that people need, eliminate a problem efficiently, and most importantly, they show the community that UCA still cares. And it all starts with changing stations. Because with changing stations, there will be change.